This is a story showcasing the power of persistence, the importance of never giving up, and the unbreakable bond between a man and his dog. In this case, the man is ultra-marathon runner Dion Leonard, and the dog is Gobi, a Chinese stray who first laid her eyes on Leonard during his run across the Gobi Desert and quickly claimed him as her human. When the race ended, the complicated process of getting Gobi out of China began and nearly didn't have a happy ending after Gobi went missing. Spoiler alert, she has been found. She is in our studio. You can read all about it in Finding Gobi, and you can hear about it from Dion himself right now. Joining us in studio, Dion Leonard and a very sleepy Gobi. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
This book was an incredible read. It is such a personal story for you and a story of triumph. You are an ultra-marathoner, which is no easy feat by any means. So tell us about when you first met Gobi.
I was running a 6-stage, 7-day race, 155 miles across the Gobi Desert in China. And it would be on stage 2 where Gobi the dog would actually start to run with me. She would end up running 4 stages of the race and 77 miles, which is extraordinary with this tiny little legs.
No kidding. So when she first ran up to you, it was your shoes that she seemed infatuated with. What was your reaction? Because from your book, you are a focused man when it comes to race day. You don't have a lot of deviation from your routine. So what did you do when she ran up?
Pretty much that. We're still concentrating on the start line and what I was going to do during the day, and we were crossing over Tian Shan mountain range, and we were running close to a marathon as well, and I was concerned about, the day ahead, and I'm not great with heights. And this little dog keeps looking up at me, fluttering her eyes, and I thought it was just a cute dog. I never thought for a moment she would run the whole stage with me that day.
And you never thought for a minute you'd share your food with her? Because this is a big deal. You carry all your food with you on this race, but then you started feeding her some scraps.
Yeah, and if we were on the race together and you said, Dion, can I have some of your food? I haven't got enough for today. It'd be like, bad luck, Kelsey. You should have brought more food. But of course, Gobi didn't pack any food, and everyone at the race was feeding her, and she just thought it was a big party.
Yeah, no kidding. So the race ends. You leave Gobi in the care of someone who you had met through the race.
Yep.
And then you head back home, and then you find out she has gone missing. And in the book, you detail that at the time, you weren't really sure if it was that she had kind of run out and escaped, or if something a little more nefarious was going on. So is that any more clear for you?
I think there's always going to be some unanswered questions without it, that Gobi's the only one that really knows the truth behind everything. But it was a huge effort to fly back to Urumqi, city of 3 million people. I don't speak Chinese. There's 2 languages actually in the city of Urumqi. Set up a search team and volunteers. I worked the press there as much as I could to raise awareness, and we actually had the whole city searching for her, which was incredible. They couldn't believe someone had come out to find this little stray dog.
Yeah, I've been to China. My mom and I backpacked from Beijing to Hong Kong, and there are dogs everywhere, and there are people everywhere. And trying to find this tiny little dog in that city, that must have felt so daunting.
It was, and it was the saddest moment of my life to be told that she was missing, and this great experience that we had during the race was over, and I was probably not going to see her again. But I couldn't live with myself. I had to fly back there, and it was incredible support from people all around the world who also put money into making it possible for me to be there.
Dion, there's a passage from the book that I want to read for our viewers. You wrote, "What Gobi introduced to my life was the chance for me to treat someone young and vulnerable in the way I wanted to be treated when my life was shaken out of control. Gobi needed me, even though I'm still not sure I can adequately put words to the feelings. I know rescuing her has healed wounds I didn't know were within me." Is that why you went back? Because people must ask you, you spent all that time, all that money looking for a dog.
Yeah.
Is that why you went back?
Yeah, and finding Gobi was one of the hardest things that I've ever done, but her finding me was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And it has put a lot of closure on the things that happened in my youth that I speak about in the book, and the reasons why I do the races, the reasons why I make the sacrifices for Gobi. And she's an incredible dog, and she's helped a lot of people around the world, actually. We get messages of the same support all the time.
Oh, it's an incredible book. Thank you so much for being here today. And such a pleasure to meet you and Gobi.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, you have to read this book, seriously. The book is called Finding Gobi. Author Dion Leonard, has been chatting with us this morning.